So what's next for the Rockets? Honestly, like this is their ceiling. This is their ceiling where it's over. All right, this is as much as they can. It looks like the Rockets need to blow it up. In my opinion, like D'Antoni and Daryl Morey are gone this season. That's what I'm thinking, right? With all that China stuff, Fertitta's the guy who's a fucking cheapskate when it comes to winning, right? He's gonna be the guy who says all the right things to the fans, where he says, "Oh yeah, we want to compete. We're gonna revamp it up. We're gonna do this and that, right?" But it's all just empty promises, right? He's basically gonna use the Rockets as a way to increase his revenues and his net fucking profits, where they're just gonna be paying Westbrook and James Harden as much money as they're allowed to sell tickets, and they're never gonna win championships with these guys, right? And he's gonna scapegoat Daryl Morey and D'Antoni, where Daryl Morey he said this thing about China. China has not played the Rockets and the Lakers games. They've not broadcast any Rockets games whatsoever, right? And there's a lot of Laker fans in China, right? So look for Daryl Morey to be gone this season. And once he gets fired, then you're gonna probably magically see China and the Rockets, you know, making amends, and they're gonna play the Rockets games again, right? Daryl Morey's gone. Mike D'Antoni's gone in a way where he's getting scapegoated for the failures of James Harden and Russell Westbrook, right? Now, where will Mike D'Antoni go? That's the question. I mean, who knows where Mike D'Antoni's going to go, right? I would like to see him in probably like a decent place where he has a chance, to probably like get a shot to go to the finals like he's had with the Rockets, right? He took a chance and it didn't happen, right? So who knows where he's gonna go? But if they wanted Mike D'Antoni, they would have extended his contract earlier this season, but they didn't, right? So Darren Moore is just saying a lot of saying all the correct things so far. You haven't really heard much from Daryl Morey, it seems like, right? Don't you think Fertitta's telling him to shut the fuck up right now? Like you've caused me enough trouble whatsoever, right? You're pushing it. So it's kind of odd that Daryl Morey's not really speaking too much, it seems like. So what's next for the Rockets, right? Yeah, James Harden, who freaking folded against the Lakers. No heart Harden. That's what he's always been called. He's always folded when the big time comes up. And it's what Chris Paul said, right? Some people are built for it, and some people run away from it.
Man, when it gets to clutch time, fourth quarter, some people built for it. Some people shy away from it. You saw Dame, all that stuff. Like some people built for it, man, and we're gonna keep hooping.
James Harden runs away from it. It's just the truth. Like CP3 straight up told the truth, right? Just look at Game 7 in OKC, right? Where he just straight up did not do anything for like 7 minutes straight. Like when the 8-minute mark hit, he had a layup, right? Against like Lou Dort or something. And after that, like he just didn't do anything. They double teamed him. He always passed it up, right? Super lackadaisical. He is lucky he made that clutch block where people are gonna forget his entire performance. His entire performance was trash juice. Like don't even get it twisted. He did not play well whatsoever. Right? It was on the back of Eric Gordon and Robert Covington that the Rockets were able to win. So now, James Harden can put up as much stats as he can now because they don't have a premier defender on him against the Lakers, right? He played well, and near the end, near elimination, he played trash, right? Like, don't even get it twisted. Like game 4, when he scored 20, but he had 20 free throws, like trash juice. Like they gave up. Like the body language from the Rockets is just quitters, right? Just quitters. Game, 6 right now. I mean, game 5, right? Where, the Lakers eliminated them. Like, James Harden, he didn't pull his team up. Again, right? He folded. When they were down big, and Russell Westbrick talking all this shit to Rondo's brother, like, dude, it's just so unnecessary. Like, Russell Westbrook is these two players are one of the most overrated players I've ever seen, right? You got Mr. Triple Double, and you got James Harden, the most gifted / the best offensive player, that we have ever seen when it comes to one-on-one play, right? I got news for you guys. The greatest one-on-one players that have ever laced shoes that I think are like clearly better, like clear cut better than James Harden. You got, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant. Hell, you even got LeBron James in it too. They're better than him in one-on-one. And there's a bunch of lists that you can go on. Larry Bird, like a lot of players, like a lot of these legends, like I would take over James Harden, right? A lot of these, James Harden, Westbrook truthers, are kind of insane to me in a way where, James Harden is not, the third greatest shooting guard of all time, dude. You're telling me he's better than Dwayne Wade, he's better than Jerry West, and you're also telling me he's better than Clyde Drexler. That's what you're telling me. Do I think James Harden is in like the top 6, top 7 range? Yeah, I'll give him that, right? Yeah, I'll give James Harden that 6-7 probably. Like I'm just thinking on top of my head. Like, is he better than Allen Iverson? Yeah, I think he's better than Allen Iverson, right? I mean, is he better than Ray Allen? Like probably, and it comes to career wise and like probably talent wise, I would say like he's got a lot of free reign when it comes to basketball compared to like Ray Allen, right? You gotta keep on going down the shooting guard list. But, James Harden is just, he's not as, as great as you made him out to be. He just doesn't translate to the playoffs, And people want to say, you're overly criticizing him, when he puts up certain numbers as true shooting percentages. True shooting percentages is always skewed towards 3-point attempts and 3-point made, right? So when you think, James Harden is so, efficient, he's not. It's just because he shoots a bunch of threes, right? And because the 3-point percentage is way more important than the 2-point percentage nowadays compared to analytics and such, it is weighed more heavily towards the 3-point, shot. So there's that. And then you got Russell Westbrook's dumbass who just keeps getting in and out of his way when it comes to playing basketball. I mean, this dude is just so out of sync. He just doesn't listen, doesn't chill out. He just plays 110% all the way, and sometimes, all the effort you give can backfire because you're just doing too much. And that's the career of Russell Westbrook. You're doing too much. So, if I were the Rockets, I would trade both these dudes, right? And I would just grab as many picks as possible in order to fasten the rebuilding. Get the picks that I lost in that CP3 trade, and you know, place my bets on the future generations if you really want to win a championship, because James Harden is not going to win a championship, right? He's going to be that player that's going to put up gaudy stats and just not win championships whatsoever, right? Now, is James Harden, Russell Westbrook first ballot Hall of Famers? I would say, yeah, they're first ballot Hall of Famers, right? They put up great, career numbers, and they're set, right? They're set for the Hall of Fame. But the ultimate goal in basketball has always been to win a championship, right? And these guys aren't going to get it. I mean, if I were the Rockets, I would ship them out, gather as much picks as possible. Who knows what they want? You want the Knicks? They want to start. All right, you can get Russell Westbrook, right? The James Harden, like he wants to. Like, you want to sell off James Harden? Like, who's gonna give up as much picks as possible for James Harden? Like, I don't know. The Knicks, they want James Harden too? Sure. Give me as much picks as possible for these players and reset everything. But the reason why the Rockets will not do that is because Fertitta wants to make money off the Rockets, right? He doesn't want to spend money. He wants to make money. He didn't spend money to bring back Trevor Ariza to go one more run. He didn't want to spend money on the luxury tax because Clint Capella was pushing this luxury tax, and Daryl Morey is hamstrung to the point where he has to do a lot of weird accounting and pushing certain contracts and players off and shipping them off so they can match the books so that they don't meet the luxury threshold, right? I mean, what does that say about Rockets' chances in the future, right? It's not good. So that's why I'm thinking they should blow up right now, because they're hamstrung, they're capped hamstrung like the Sixers. They're just stuck where they're at right now. And it's just who they are going to be. So, I mean, do you want to have a team of mediocrity where they're just going to go to the playoffs every year and just get bounced out in the second round? Like, do you want that as a Rocket fan? No, you shouldn't, right? You want to go all in, go to the finals and win the chip. So, that's just my take on it. I mean, James Harden, Westbrook, aka Dumb and Dumber. I mean, these dudes just trash juice players right now, dude. Like Russell Westbrook. Like, I've never seen a player on the likes of Russell Westbrook where this dumbass always does like what he wants and doesn't get reined in by the coach, right? Where the coach tells him, "Hey, you're doing too much, you fucking idiot. Like, stop pulling up when the defense and the offense is not set. Stop pulling up for three. Stop pulling up mid-range and just drive it in, right? Stop doing this stuff. Like, why are you doing this stuff?" And you got James Harden. Dude, you're the best. You're the so-called best offensive player in the NBA right now. I don't care if you're averaging 50%, right? Like, dude, don't fold in the second half of the game after you accumulated enough stats where you're just good for the night. Like, dude, like I'm giving you the ball, take me home right now. Like, I'm entrusting my faith into you, man. But these dudes, are just all about stats right now. It's just this analytics bullshit is. It's just a weird scientific experiment by Daryl Morey and the Rockets, where they're just pushing things too far, and it's just not basketball sometimes. So all in all, rip, RIP, Rocket fans. Like, dude, like, you basically got Robert Sarver in the front office right now as an owner. Fucking cheapskate and shit, right? So, you know what happened to the Phoenix Suns, right? They got dismantled, and now they haven't sniffed the playoffs for like a long time. So, I'm thinking that's the case for the Rockets. So, rip, Rocket fans, rip.